Hello, everybody. Let's talk KARNO, all right? Let's really dive deep into the KARNO generator to understand the type of technology that this is and how serious of an outlook the KARNO generator has. Now, let's understand a few elements of energy generation right now. You got new concepts in nuclear energy coming, which are micronuclear power generators that are very movable, very easy to set up and bring down, but they're super more expensive than the Cardinal, and they're a lot bigger in space, and they require a lot more maintenance. Okay, let's talk about other things like fusion that's coming out. Yeah, that could be very revolutionizing for big cities and metropolises, but it's not convenient and practical for big industrial use, especially micro, large industrial use. So leaves us with the Cardinal type of linear heat generators, which is another type of technology. Now let's understand when all this technology really started coming out and really started evolving, right? Now I'm going to take you a little bit back in time. Not that I'm trying to give anybody a history lesson, but it's important to understand these things clearly so that we can identify the real value that the Cardinal generator is giving, the opportunity of the value of the Cardinal generator, and also to help us understand our investments. A lot of people are not understanding Hylion and they just feel like they invested in a shitty company and a shitty startup. So I really need you to sit with me on this ride. It's gonna feel like a roller coaster. Welcome to the adventure park. This is Hylion Talk. We keep it real, and hey, we're gonna strap you in and we're gonna go down the roller coaster. And this one's fast, baby. So look, check this out. Let's understand that this technology has been around for a while, and all this technology started to come out of the space race. You guys remember when there was this huge threat of nuclear warfare between the United States and basically NATO and the USSR, the United Soviet Russian Republic, I think. But that was a Cold War, guys. A lot of you were not around. A lot of you were not born. This is history, okay? And this all was the fallout of the Second World War. So I'm not going to go as far back as the First World War because then we're going back too far. But when we were in the Second World War, this is when it became savage, ruthless, and we had to get to work for our own survival. So a lot of programs were initiated by the United States. The United States spent so much money in research and development during this era. So much so that they said that we saw the greatest wave of geniuses come out of that era. So geniuses were working on things, and that's how we more or less, humanity, Americans, America, because it's America, something to be proud about, made in USA, baby. This is how we started to develop these technologies, a lot of these technologies, okay? Now, when the Cardinal started getting designed, this was being designed by General Electric. Remember that General Electric was a crucial, monumental piece to the war effort, just like Palantir is becoming right now. General Electric was the leadership of the time. They were the geniuses, the tech geniuses of the time, right? So General Electric was commissioned with secret projects to start developing capacity for nuclear war. But guess where, guys? In space. Oh, did I drop the bombshell on that one? Developing capacity for nuclear war in space. The KARNO generator was developed with aerospace applications in mind. What the US was really looking for was capacity to power, like, space stations where people could be in the space and possibly as far as the moon, because we did not really know how far space, or how close, better said, space was becoming, because the Russians were even probing Mars and Venus. Venus, guys. The Russians successfully crash landed in Venus. So we were, the US, developing this technology, aerospace technology, and that's how the KARNO came about. Obviously, Reagan, with his American exceptionalism, brought us to this future, right? I mean, damn, I just jumped through a lot of things, right? Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden. God, I jumped a lot, right? Here we are now with the KARNO. Now, the reason, la razón why we just, a lot of this stuff went in the shelf is because it was no longer needed. It was no longer viable to invest all kinds of money, because we were no longer investing for our survival. We were just investing for our market dominance and our market share and our market presence. And that's why these programs got shelved. But the KARNO generator was created with the intention of a low maintenance, highly capable fuel sources, because we don't know if there's natural gas in the moon. We don't know. But there's ice. So somehow we were going to figure out how to mine the moon and other astral orbiting things around. I don't want to sound too sci-fi here, right? But we were thinking of how to mine them and extract fuels. What kind of fuel could there be? Because most of the chemical elements are abundant throughout the universe. Most stuff's essential. And the KARNO can run on essential components, essential fuels. It literally can run on almost anything. So this is what made the KARNO such an amazing piece of technology. Just like anything, we did not need to use it. So when you fast forward why GE ended up selling the KARNO to Hyliion, it's not that hard to understand that GE did not have the ability to bring all this to market because the funding was not behind it. When GE brought all this, the US government paid for it, paid for all the research and development. But GE cannot invest in pushing it out. They needed somebody to just specifically focus on that, and they saw Hyliion as a possibility, and that's why they did the deal that they did with Hyliion. But this brings us to the history of the KARNO generator, okay? Now, let's understand the present, because this is where we are with the KARNO generator. The KARNO generator has multiple applications. It turns out that nowadays, we need more electricity than ever. So it turns out that, hey, the KARNO generator not only works for outer space, it would work in the moon, people. Think about it. They want to build space stations with fuel up there so that after rockets launch, they could refuel somewhere between here and their journey to the moon. The KARNO generator could also provide electricity sources. The KARNO generator can be mounted in a spaceship. And because it's so low maintenance and because the way it operates, it becomes more even stable than nuclear power and other types of power. So this is the real creation of the KARNO generator. That's why some people among the Hyliion community call it alien tech, because it is alien tech. Listen, guys, we human beings are the aliens that are going to conquer space. All right? I'll talk about that more on other videos, and we'll have fun with that one. But I want to keep this in a serious topic, in a serious context, because it's very important to understand. A lot of people think Hyliion is going to fail because they don't understand the true power of the KARNO generator. And that's funny. The KARNO generator has a lot of power, baby. But that's the KARNO generator in a nutshell. So now that we have this capacity, this printing capacity, because look, General Electric obviously knew that they had to print these parts, and they started working on that technology. But because the concepts were built, but the capacity to mass produce never came necessary. Basically, GE researched how to put these machines together and they kind of figured it out, but the funding dried up. But now that these machines started using to save lives, again, see, everybody needs to understand that human life is valuable. Our survival is valuable. Again, because of building medical tools, GE said we're going to invest in the capacity of this machine to print medical tools. So they obviously made smaller versions of the machine to print high precision medical tools. So GE finally put some money behind the project and got it going, right? But to build these bigger machines, to build these bigger applications like the KARNO generator, required more resources. And this is where we're at. We're in the cusp of this. In the cusp. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. We are in the cusp of this. Now, the printers are being mass produced. Actually, not even mass produced yet. They're being produced in production line, meaning that there's more of them coming out. And Hylion being owned, being GE part owner of Hylion, General Electric having ownership in Hylion, makes General Electric a shareholder and a direct interested party in Hylion being successful with the KARNO generator. In essence, Hylion is a proxy for General Electric to take the KARNO generator to market. And this is what a lot of people do not understand. And this is why I did this channel, for me, for you, for all of us that are Hylion savvy, I guess. I want to put it in good words for this video to be more serious. That are Hylion educated, Hylion knowledgeable, Hylion well versed. Understand, this is the opportunity that we have with Hylion. Hey, that's funny. If I stand right here, it looks like I'm replacing Ramos. Yeah, I'm talking for Thomas. I'm replacing Thomas. I just caught that, guys. That's funny. But seriously, this is the power of the KARNO generators. So when you even contrast the size of the KARNO generators to these micronuclear reactors and these micronuclear fusion generators, not only is the size and the practicality of transportation a lot more streamlined and easy, but the financials of it are super, super simplified. So for me, this is why I would say that Sov is right in the sense that thousands of KARNO generators would be necessary just to address the natural gas flaring situation with gas wells. And then when you start adding to it all the different possible applications, you start to have for an exponential growth. Now it's just going to be a matter of Hylion coming to market at the right cost with the right business plan. And that's why I'm talking about this, and that's why we have this channel, and that's why we all need to continue to gravitate towards each other so that when the time comes and is needed, we can be united to be able to effectively exert the right amount of pressure on Hylion if ever needed from the shareholder base. And I leave everybody with that. I hope you enjoy the video. Spread it, pass it on. I'm not just gifted with talking, guys. I went to school for a long time. It was nerve-wracking to get out here and start YouTube in 2023. But I practiced enough to be able to defend and flow. So if you guys want me to talk about a specific subject, let me know, guys. Let's collaborate and we'll do this. As long as you guys are willing to keep pushing it out in the internet, okay? We are an army. We are green monsters. We are saddle riders. But are we a cult? Well, vote on it. And I'll catch everybody on the next video.